Now we're back in the shop, and this is going to be for gyro owners. That there are some things on the gyro that are on the bike but not in the manual. Now I'm changing oil. The clutch is a 2-speed wet clutch. It's in here. I don't know exactly how it works. It was done in '85, and in 1985 they had shaft drives that weren't anything like today. Now I've taken the oil out, and I'll show you where the drain plug is, and I'm going to put in 5 weight 30 full synthetic. It doesn't matter what brand it is. It's probably all from the same stuff. They just put it in different bottles. But the difference with the synthetic is that viscosity is how thick the oil is. When oil heats up, it turns into water almost. And when it does that, it loses its viscosity or its lubricating power. Now, an old book of thought, a mechanic told me, he said, listen, don't use synthetic because this is in 1985. They didn't have it. It wasn't designed for it. Well, it may be true, maybe not. We're going to try it anyway. Now, after I drain the oil from the drain plug, it holds about 3/4 of this, probably up to about that black line of oil. Here is your fill plug right here, and we take this off, and this is common in a lot of older motorcycles or things of that nature. They don't have a dipstick. What we do is we fill the oil in right here on level ground until the oil starts to seep out of that edge right there. Now when that starts to come out, that's the level you're supposed to have it at. Now let's see if I can do this correctly. We're looking underneath the pipe here, and let's see if I can zoom in on the oil plug. The oil plug is right there. The oil, what do they call it? The oil filler bolt. Not the filler, but the drain bolt is right there. If you'll notice that on this bolt is an aluminum washer. Japanese don't put aluminum washers on anything. All their bolts from the factory come with a washer built into the bolt. So if you notice some weird bolt in the back, it doesn't look like it's part of the frame. See if I can get that to, and that's what it is, and it's right over. See if I can put my finger on it. It's right there. There's one bolt on the right that holds the case together right here, and you can see the built-in washer on this bolt. On this one, since it's a drain bolt, it has an aluminum washer, which is nice and soft metal so that it can seal. Now, in order to fill this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up this little reservoir, or this little, there's a couple ways we can do it. I'm going to fill up this bowl with the 1040 or the 530 weight oil right here. And then what you can do, there's a couple ways you can do this. You can get yourself a little funnel with a little clear line and then stick it in the fill hole right there and try and get the oil to go in there. Another way you can do it, which I'm going to do, is take a little, this is a baby earwax thing, and it's got a lot of good suction on it. You just put this in the oil, suck it up, put it right in the hole there, and squeeze. Like that. Now you think, oh God, that would take you forever. Remember, it's just a little tiny motor. There's probably maybe 4 or 5 ounces of oil in there. That's about it. So I'm going to be taking this bike off the stands today and starting to put the bodywork back on it. But I wanted to get the oil in it before, it's much easier for me to get it at waist high right here than at ground level. You want to keep everything clean. You want to keep your drain plug area clean, also your fill plug clean. The reason for that is if somewhere down the road in the middle of summer, any time in the future, if you notice that you've got an oil collecting dust somewhere down there, that means that it's leaking. And up here, this is kind of a neat thing right here. The air goes right in here. It's air cooled. And you can see the fan down in there a little bit. It's right down in there. The air comes in right here, and it's blown through this case, force fed, and then it's blown out right here. And what this does is, this has a little tiny plastic jacket that goes over the carburetor right here. And what it does is it blows warm air up through the jacket across the carburetor to prevent the carburetor from going into what's called cold lock. Cold lock is exactly like wind chill. The faster the air goes over or through a carburetor, and if it's slightly cold out, it will get very cold. And if it does that, it will vapor lock or cold lock your engine. Your engine needs the air to be a certain temperature. If it's too cold, it simply won't atomize the gas and won't work. So that's that. So now I'm going to fill up the reservoir. And you always want to have the right amount. I would suggest to all gyro owners to take your bike when you first get it, empty the oil out of it because no one likes to touch it, and refill it. Because I've noticed that this one was low on oil when I first got it. And when I replaced the oil or refilled it, it worked really good. And then I will begin to put all the plastics back on after I get it off the table, because it's I don't want to put the plastic on it and then have the plastics over here, as you can see, this plastic and these other plastics. So it's getting spring out there, and I've got to get this stuff together and get some clear coat on it and get rolling. Okay, for all you gyro owners.